Come along as we drive through the peaceful hills of Yelagiri and talk about Wabi Sabi, a book that gently reminds us to slow down and embrace life's beautiful imperfections. Book Wabi Sabi, The Wisdom in Imperfection by Nobuo Suzuki. This thoughtful book by Nobuo Suzuki introduces us to the gentle Japanese philosophy of Wabi Sabi, finding beauty in imperfection, simplicity, and the passage of time. It's not just an idea, but a way of seeing the world and living more mindfully. Part 1 of this book talk about the philosophy of Wabi Sabi. This section lays the foundation for understanding Wabi Sabi as a way of seeing life. 1. Origins of the concept. Wabi Sabi comes from two old Japanese words. Wabi, a quiet, rustic solitude. Sabi, the beauty that comes with age and time. Together, they form a philosophy rooted in Zen Buddhism, reminding us that peace and beauty can be found in the simple, the weathered, and the imperfect. In Part 1 Section 2 is Zen and Wabi Sabi. This chapter connects Wabi Sabi to core Buddhist ideas like impermanence, emptiness, and suffering, but in a gentle, accepting way. Instead of resisting change or chasing perfection, Wabi Sabi invites us to embrace things as they are. In Part 1 Section 3 talks about don't be too hard on yourself and others. A beautiful reminder to let go of harsh self-judgment. We're all flawed, Wabi Sabi sees that as part of what makes us human. It's a call for more kindness, both toward ourselves and the people around us. In Part 1 Chapter 4 talks about lessons from nature. Nature itself teaches us Wabi Sabi through falling leaves, uneven branches, or aging bark. There's no symmetry, no polish, and yet it's all incredibly beautiful. This chapter reminds us to observe and learn from the natural world, which quietly reflects impermanence and grace. Part 2 of the book, Wabi Sabi in Art. This section ties the philosophy of Wabi Sabi into the world of Japanese art, emotion, and creativity. In Part 2 Section 1 talks about principles of Wabi Sabi in the Japanese arts. Japanese arts, like pottery, calligraphy, and traditional architecture, express Wabi Sabi through simplicity, irregularity, and natural forms. A cracked bowl, an off-balance brush stroke, or a weathered wood beam isn't seen as flawed, but as meaningful. These arts celebrate the raw and real over the polished and perfect. Part 2 Section 2 of the book talk about the beauty of melancholy. There's a quiet beauty in moments of sadness, stillness, and change. This chapter explores how melancholy adds depth and richness to life. Just like how autumn leaves or an old photograph can evoke a feeling that's both beautiful and bittersweet. Wabi Sabi teaches us, transience doesn't diminish beauty. It deepens it. Part 2 Section 3 talks about from inflexibility to spontaneity. Rather than rigid control, Wabi Sabi encourages flow, intuition, and openness, like water adjusting to the shape of its container. Through Zen anecdotes and nature metaphors, this chapter reminds us that spontaneity often reveals truth better than overplanning. Creativity blossoms when we let go of tight rules. Part 2 Section 4 talks about Wabi Sabi and creativity. Imperfection fuels imagination. This chapter invites us to create freely without fear of mistakes. Suzuki even suggests gentle exercises like writing haiku, observing the natural world, or starting a Wabi Sabi diary to capture fleeting thoughts or imperfect moments. The message? Creativity isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. Part 3 of the book talk about Wabi Sabi as a way of life. This section connects Wabi Sabi from art and philosophy into daily living, making it a personal and practical path. Part 3 Section 1 talks about imperfection as a road to excellence. This chapter shifts our mindset. Flaws aren't failures, they're doorways to authenticity. The things that make us imperfect are often what make us real, relatable, and wise. Instead of hiding our cracks, Wabi Sabi teaches us to grow through them. And to see them as part of our depth. Part 3 Section 2 talks about Wabi Sabi and resilience. Inspired by the Japanese art of kintsugi, repairing broken pottery with gold. This chapter reminds us that healing doesn't mean returning to how things were. It means becoming something new and strong. Embracing uncertainty, age, and emotional scars builds a quiet kind of strength and humility. Part 3 Section 3 talks about creating space. We live in cluttered times, cluttered homes, cluttered minds. Wabi Sabi encourages us to clear out what we don't need. Not just physically, but mentally too. Letting go creates space for focus, peace, and what truly matters. Sometimes, an empty room or a quiet pause is the most powerful thing. Part 3 Section 4 talks about the school of minimalism. Drawing from the idea of Danshari. To refuse, dispose, and separate. This chapter supports a minimalist, intentional lifestyle. It's about removing the excess so we can focus on meaning, relationships, and simplicity. Less isn't just more, it's clearer. Part 3 Section 5 talks about Wabi Sabi spirituality. In the end, Wabi Sabi is more than a style. It's a spiritual approach to life. It invites us to live in the present, accept impermanence, and appreciate what is, rather than what could be. It's about being grounded, humble, and quietly grateful. Book Wabi Sabi, The Wisdom in Imperfection by Nobuo Suzuki reminds us that beauty isn't always bold or perfect. It often lives in the quiet, in the faded, in the incomplete. As we end this journey, I carry with me the idea that peace comes not from fixing everything, but from gently accepting things as they are, flawed, fleeting, and still meaningful. Thanks for watching this book reflection. I hope it gave you something to think about, just as Wabi Sabi did for me. If you enjoyed the calm and the thoughts, do consider liking and subscribing. See you in the next one.